Hey there, folks. You're listening to MWM Podcast Books episode, and in today's episode, I'm going to talk about very favorite novel of mine. It's a series, Jack Reacher series by Lee Child, and every January, I kind of read a Jack Reacher novel. So this is the fourth continuous year I'm picking up a Jack Reacher novel. So the book is The Visitor. So yeah, it's the fourth book in chronological order. So I started this ritual 4 years back. So I started reading Killing Floor and then Tripwire. So this is the fourth book, The Visitor. And as you all know, Jack Reacher is a very prominent and popular, best-selling series. It's famous all over the world, and it's kind of he has written around like 20 plus novels. And Tom Cruise acted in a couple of movies as Jack Reacher, and right now the Amazon Prime series is gaining popularity because they are converting it into a series. Like already one season we saw, and then now they've jumped almost to six, I don't know, sixth or seventh novel, skipping 3 4 novels in the order. So yeah, so this is the fourth novel, The Visitor, Jack Reacher series by Lee Child. And yeah, if you do not know about Jack Reacher is a retired army veteran, and he doesn't have any property or vehicle or anything. He just roams around. He's just a wanderer. So yeah, in the last series, I think Tripwire, he had made a girlfriend, lawyer Jody. So the story kind of continues from the last book, and he's sitting in a New York Italian restaurant, and there's a couple of guys trying to intimidate the owner to get some money. So it's a racket, production racket. So as usual, he's in a dilemma, whether to involve or not. So he thinks, it's happening anywhere else in the world, and it's not usual. I mean, it's not an unusual thing. But if he gets involved, he's gonna leave some footprints, and he's gonna get some more trouble to deal with. But then he decides to involve, and he beats up the couple of guys who try to get the money from the owner. And yeah, he ends up in a, what do you say, he ends up getting arrested for it. So this is how the movie starts, but the core story is a serial killing, homicide, crime. So that's where the story lies. So Reacher was not arrested for what do you say, beating up the production racket guys, but then he's been suspected, he's been arrested by the FBI. So he's the prime suspect in a serial killing incident where retired female army, what do you say, female army women are killed in a mysterious manner. So the way they are killed are like, they are found dead in the bathtub of their home, and it's full of the tub is filled with green paint, and they are like kind of immersed in it. And the post-mortem or autopsy doesn't reveal how they died or how they have been murdered or killed. So there is no wounds or injuries or poison, traces of poison in the body, or what do you say, any kind of physical or chemical footprints. So it's very mysterious how they have been murdered, and the green paint is kind of symbolism. And it's so three women have been murdered. So that's when they did the profiling, and they feel that a guy like Jack Reacher is the one who's the prime suspect. So they brought Jack Reacher to question, and then after a period of, what do you say, after a couple of episodes, they kind of say that, we know that you're not the suspect, but we wanted to bring you in so that to intimidate you, and also by that way we can ask you to kind of involve in the investigation and be a consultant. So it happens like that. So Jack Reacher becomes a consultant, and he tries to figure out the serial killer, who is the serial killer. And it involves elements from the army. So Jack Reacher is the go-to guy because he's a retired army veteran, so he can pull off information or have some contacts. So he's playing a very vital role, but he's not very indulgent or what do you say, obedient to the FBI guy who's doing this investigation. So it's a special investigation force, right? So yeah, so the story is kind of chasing this serial killer, and they figure out that it's a guy like Jack Reacher who thinks like Jack Reacher, and Jack Reacher tries to help them out. and also he's kind of evaluating, though in the last book he actually acquires a property. Jodie's father Leon was also army major, I think, colonial. So he's senior to Jack Reacher, so he had left the home to Jack Reacher. So now Jack is like, what am I going to do with this home? He doesn't like to be grounded, in the sense he doesn't like to stay in a particular place with a property onto his name and a vehicle onto his name. So he's like worried. I am a person who wanders and who likes to make unplanned trips, and he always carries just a jacket and a broken toothbrush and a wallet. Just that's it, not even a, I think, a credit card, I guess, not even a card. So he's that kind of guy. But this is something throughout the story kind of is a dilemma whether to sell the house, because technically it's still Jodie's house, but it's in his name. So his girlfriend's house, but still it's on his name, just because his girlfriend's father has given the will like that. So that's something challenging for him, because Jodie, his girlfriend, is like, she wants to stay in a place, like she's becoming a partner in her firm, and she doesn't want the life of Jack Reacher, and Jack Reacher doesn't want the life of Jodie. So, but they love each other. So this is the emotional side of Jack Reacher, but it's like kind of comes now and then. But the majority of the book deals with this thrilling incidents of how Jack Reacher and the FBI agents chase, or find out who's the serial killer. And it's pretty surprising, and kind of, I was not satisfied at the end, because when they revealed the serial killer, it was kind of okay, it made sense, okay, why the serial killer had these motives to kill women from the army who's retired and they are living alone. So there is a group of almost like 80 to 90 women who's retired from army, and they have a background. So I don't want to reveal what background they have, why they retired, or why they quit army. So that's for you to go and read and let understand. So they have all the 90 women have a particular background, so that's why they are being targeted. But eventually the FBI and Jack Reacher figure out not all 90 will be targeted, but it's going to be the 11. There is a group of 11 who's living alone, no husband, no family, no roommates. So these 11 women live alone, and already the 3 who were killed comes under the list of 11. So they kind of filter it out, narrow down the victims, and they try to protect the remaining victims. They go talk to the victims, and it's kind of very thrilling. And I kind of finished off this book almost like 300 pages in a couple of days. I had nothing to do, so I was just reading, and it was not boring at all. So the narrative is very thrilling. So it kind of switches between the serial killers. We do not know who's the serial killer, but we keep reading about his thoughts in between the narrative structure of Jack Reacher. And Jack Reacher is always, he's smart, clever, and there is early on there is an incident where his girlfriend is in trouble, so he's stuck with the FBI guys. So the FBI guys are treat him like a prisoner. Okay, so you have to be with us, and you need to figure out this investigation and try to find the serial killer. So they are demanding him, and they are not letting him go. And Jack Reacher kind of escapes for 8 hours or something, and then he kind of saves his girlfriend from trouble. So that's a very clever and smart move, as well as writing, I would say. So I was really loved reading that kind of smart and intelligent. He kind of basically starts a gang war without him being involved, in the sense his name would not come up, and the FBI doesn't have a clue like whether he was directly involved or not. So he's really smart, and there's not much action scenes. So I remember I've read Jack Reacher in my childhood. There is very elaborate action scenes, and in fact the first 2 novels, I think first book and second book, had pretty good action description, like the way the action rolls out will be written clearly. But here I think it's just couple of action scenes, and it's very short, but then the story is kind of really thrilling. As I said, it is I think the investigative genre, as well as the serial killing incident and the serial killer aspect or the plot, gives a extra dimension to Jack Reacher novel. So Jack Reacher itself he's always in a situation where he's in trouble, and he figures his way out by investigating and doing some detective work, and also plenty of action. So he's like combination of Sherlock Holmes and James Bond, right? So yeah, so it's that in itself is very satisfactory, but on top of that they've added this serial killing kind of plot. So serial killer and serial killing plot, and it's very what do you say, I was thinking it's going to be someone who we know, the serial killer. It's going to be someone who we know, and it ends up being someone who we know, but we would have never guessed. So that's the plot twist. It's very intelligently written, but I felt it's not convincing enough. The way it ended the story, I'm not sure. I don't know. I was not satisfied, but overall, the story, narrative structure, and the thrilling moments and page turners is almost 400 pages, 500 pages. So all Jack Reacher novels are minimum, 350, 400 pages, and this book is almost like 500 pages. So it's really difficult for me to read a long book. I usually take 1 month, so that's why I start on January beginning. I pick a Jack Reacher novel in January, and before February end I used to keep target. But then I had some good time last 2 days, and I spent only reading Jack Reacher novel, and almost 300 pages I completed in 2 days, and it was so thrilling. Believe me, you cannot keep on reading a book if it's not interesting or thrilling or enchanting. So Jack Reacher novels are always good thrillers you can rely on. It's reliable, and if you want a good action thriller, then definitely you should pick it up. So it has Lee Child has written over 20 plus novels, and they're going to make it into episodes, series. So series season 2 was released in Amazon Prime, I think. So the first book was translated into series, so I really liked reading the book first year, and then next year I saw the season 1, and it was so good to watch. And the new actor in the series, it's really good. He kind of imagine the imaginative character that you build of Jack Reacher when you're reading the book, he kind of portrays that. But also Tom Cruise has done a good job. So I don't know why Tom Cruise has stopped. I'm looking forward to more Tom Cruise movies portraying Jack Reacher. Probably they're gonna do some, I count on it. So yeah, so if you're looking for a thrilling action story, then Jack Reacher is your go-to novel. You have 20 plus novels, and The Visitor has delivered the content very impressive. And as I said, I did not like the ending. It was not convincing, but then till the ending, maybe the last 50 pages you're not satisfied, but 450 pages would be really interesting, and you would love reading it without taking a break, and it's so thrilling. Yeah, do give it a try. It should be available in Amazon or any platform, online platform, or nearby bookstores. So do buy it. If you're buying Jack Reacher, don't just buy one, buy a lot of Jack Reacher novels, and because it's gonna be a thriller ride. And yeah, I'm hopefully looking forward to the next year January, because I'll pick up the next novel, book number 5 of Jack Reacher next year. And yes, we'll meet soon. I hope you guys enjoy listening to this MW podcast books. And as you can observe, we've been bringing in a lot of guest speakers from our book club, and I'm in talks with a lot of new people. So a lot of people are going to come for the live stream as well, and podcast, both movies and books. We're going to have plenty of guest speakers. So thank you so much for supporting this new series from MWM, and yeah, do look forward to more such episodes, and have fun. I'll talk to you in the next podcast episode. Until then, you are listening to MWM, and this is MaddiE Dawson. Bye bye.